Delaware's transit service, moving forward.
New tonight, referendum rejection. Voters in a growing school district say no to a multi-million-dollar plan for new schools and staff pay hikes. Plus, rail revolution in southern Delaware, details on a possible transportation transformation downstate. And DSU's big night, Delaware State University's scholarship ball makes waves, raising over $3 million in a star-studded event at the Chase Center. We'll tell you about that and much more straight ahead coming up on DETV News. Good evening and welcome to DETV News. I'm Matt Ford. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Making headlines today. Though it was close, the Appoquinimink School District suffered its first defeat at the polls in more than 2 decades. Taxpayers in Delaware's fastest growing school district rejected a 47-cent increase to the property tax rate that would have funded 3 new schools, security upgrades, and salary increases for staff, the lowest paid in Newcastle County's 5 school districts. More than 6,300 people came out to the polls. Unofficial results show 51.3% voted against operational increases and 52.2% voted against the capital projects. The request for safety improvements and a bus lot was defeated by just 6 votes. School District Superintendent Matt Burrows said in a Tuesday night statement that there was a lot of disappointment, but that the district would update the proposal and try again this spring. The district, which has grown 17% just in the past 5 years, had successful referendums in 2021 and in 2019 that focused on keeping up with its growth. And an independent evaluation of Delaware's education funding system has produced critical recommendations for policymakers. The study, arising from a recent education funding litigation settlement, aimed to provide an unbiased assessment of the state's education funding structure. Key recommendations include increasing state investment in public education, aligning resource distribution with student needs, enhancing transparency in funding allocation, providing greater flexibility for districts, regularly reassessing property values, simplifying the calculation of local share for charter schools, and implementing a weighted school funding state funding formula. Secretary of Education Mark Holodick highlighted the study's significance in informing discussions on revamping the perceived outdated education funding system. He emphasized the opportunity to build upon existing initiatives such as opportunity funding and increased early childhood spending. The current school funding here in Delaware is primarily enrollment-based, but there is growing advocacy for a shift towards funding based on student needs. The study revealed potential disparities in essential resources from students in low-income families, students with disabilities, and English learners. In other news tonight, one person was seriously injured following a car crash Tuesday morning on Limestone Road. It happened just before 7:30 a.m. next to Carousel Park. That's in Pike Creek. A car reportedly traveling northbound on Route 7 crossed the median and was hit by an SUV. The driver of the car, a 21-year-old man, was trapped in the wreckage for about 20 minutes, police say, before being freed by firefighters. The victim was treated on scene by paramedics and was taken to Christiana Hospital in serious condition. And first responders worked together Tuesday morning to rescue a man who had gone into cardiac arrest while on the roof of a commercial building in Newark. Firefighters, EMTs, paramedics, and specialized technicians were called to the structure just before 10 a.m. According to officials with the Aetna Hose Hook and Ladder Company, medics and EMTs were able to restore the man's pulse in about 15 minutes, but then they faced the task of getting him down off the roof. The Newcastle County High-Angle Confined Space Rescue Team used what's called a Stokes basket to harness the patient in and lower him from the roof for transport. He was also taken to Christiana Hospital. And Wilmington and Newcastle County's unionized janitors have achieved a groundbreaking contract agreement, averting a potential strike just days before their previous deal was set to expire. The Service Employees International Union 32BJ announced the ratification of first post-pandemic agreement with building owners and contractors. The deal boasts unprecedented pay raises, safeguards employer-paid health care and benefits, and introduces Juneteenth as a paid holiday. Key highlights of the contract include the following: record-breaking wage increases, 20% over the contract duration, full-time and part-time health benefits, protected with no employee contributions, and as we mentioned, addition of Juneteenth as a paid holiday, enhanced protections for pregnancy rights, and safeguards for workers affected by building renovations or conversions. Well, this historic agreement unifies separate contracts previously held with Delaware and southeastern Pennsylvania workers, consolidating them into a single, stronger accord. The union represents around 600 janitors here in the first state and 1,400 workers in suburban Philadelphia. A little further south now, Milford's new police department will be ready for operations next week. It comes almost 3 years after Milford residents approved a referendum to finance the project. The city decided a new location was needed after evaluating Milford's public safety needs had outgrown the existing facility. Milford Chief of Police says having a new facility that can better serve the community is crucial to helping solve workforce recruitment and retention problems. Milford Mayor Arthur Campbell, who cut the ribbon at the ceremony, says the original police department, built in 1979, hosted 18 officers and served a population of about 5,400 people. The city now has 37 officers and serves 12,000 people. Public open houses will be held Wednesday and Thursday, with operations at the new building starting on Monday. And a study will look into the feasibility of adding passenger train service downstate. Federal funding will allow the state to conduct a study about adding rail service in Delaware below the canal. Delaware's congressional delegation announced a $500,000 grant to see if rail service can be added from the Northeast Corridor to downstate Delaware. Service would go through Middletown and Dover to eastern Maryland. The study will look at various issues such as, is there density to support this project? And of course, is the demand there to support the investment? In addition to rail infrastructure questions, the study will also examine the cost of running trains in the first state. Now, as for timing, officials say the study would take more than a year. The last study to look into the feasibility of adding downstate rail service was done over 10 years ago. And Delaware State University hit a slam dunk at their scholarship ball this past Saturday night. DSU's scholarship ball raised over $3 million in a single night. The event, aimed at fueling future scholarships, drew in more than 1,200 attendees and boasted a star-studded list. NBA Hall of Famer Irvin Magic Johnson graced the occasion, contributing a generous $600,000 and pledging an additional $1 million as Delaware State University continues to expand. Well, not to be outdone, Steve Ewing, an automotive executive and graduate of Delaware State College, presented a $1 million gift. That's the largest ever given by an alumnus in the university's 132-year history. Student loan lender Sally May also stepped up, matching his gift of $1 million in research endowment to support a 3-year persistence and completion pilot program. This initiative aims to identify and eliminate barriers to degree completion, ultimately working to close the college completion gap. And in Newark now, the Christina School District unveiled a new wellness center at Brookside Elementary School. This initiative is part of a broader effort to address the mental health crisis affecting students. At the ribbon-cutting event, Newcastle County Executive Matt Meyer highlighted the urgency of tackling mental health challenges, especially in places like Brookside Elementary. The center, funded by federal dollars, is part of a 2022 commitment to bring wellness centers to schools with high numbers of students from economically challenged families. And children at Anna P. Moat Elementary and Richardson Park Elementary will have a warmer winter this year, all thanks to a heartwarming collaboration. Sam's Kids and Harvey, Hannah and Associates in partnership with Operation Warm, made it all possible. The effort culminated in a lively coat parade at both schools on Wednesday. Sam's Kids, formerly the Delaware Kids Fund, underwent a meaningful transformation in honor of Sam Hanna, who passed away last December. The coat campaign, a cause dear to Sam's heart, saw a vibrant parade at Richardson Park, with the 76ers drum line adding to the festive atmosphere. Ryan Kennedy, program director of Sam's Kids, expressed gratitude to the Delaware Bluecoats and the community for their integral role in making the campaign a success. Kennedy highlights that thanks to Sam's Kids, around 1,000 elementary school students in the Red Clay School District will be much warmer this winter. And just in time for the holidays, about 20 Colonial School District elementary school students received hair care makeovers Tuesday at the Paul Mitchell School. Many of the students are homeless or in need and may have never had salon services before. That's according to District Health and Wellness Director Dr. John Cooper. The long-standing partnership between the district and Teaching Salon was resumed this year after the pause for the pandemic. And Christmas wishes came true on Tuesday for some 200 Colonial School District students, thanks to the generous members of the Seeds of Greatness Bible Church in Newcastle. The students from Newcastle Elementary School and McCullough Middle School gathered at the church Tuesday evening to open gifts valued at about $100 for each student. In November, the students were asked by counselors to create a 3-item wish list valued at around $100. Church members purchased the items and volunteers wrapped the gifts for a dinner and gift exchange that happened Tuesday night. Gifts for students who could not attend the dinner will be delivered to the schools.
And what we're doing is we're providing a meal for them, and we're providing Christmas gifts for them, for the children. It's like 200 children here that we're providing Christmas gifts for that are maybe underprivileged and don't have all the things that we might have. So what we're trying to do is reach out into the community and be a blessing to the community. I want to do it bigger next year. I just want to do it bigger next year. I want it to be so that there's not a kid that we know in our community that doesn't have the joy and the experience of Christmas and receiving a gift.
Sounds like a wonderful event. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's edition of DETV News. Be sure to like and follow us across your favorite social media platform. And for a look at what's happening around the First State anytime, head to our website. That's detvch.com. For tonight's news, I'm Matt Ford. I'll see you again right here tomorrow night.